Have you ever felt like you're walking through life just a little differently from everyone else? Like there's a movie playing inside your mind that nobody else can see? Maybe you're the person in a room full of people who quietly picks up on everyone's mood, but no one picks up on yours. If any of this feels familiar, you may be part of a rare group Carl Jung called intuitive introverts. And once you see the truth about yourself, you'll never see your own mind the same way again. Stay until the end, and you'll finally understand why you feel so different and how your hidden strengths can become your greatest superpower. Most people live in the world of what's obvious, what's said out loud, what's happening in the moment, the facts and details that everyone can see. But intuitive introverts live in a different world, a world of meanings, connections, and quiet signals most people miss. Carl Jung believed that some people are wired to see beneath the surface. These are the minds that sense what's coming before it happens, who can feel the tension in a conversation before anyone says a word. It's like living with an invisible antenna, always picking up on patterns and undercurrents others don't notice. If you're an intuitive introvert, you might feel exhausted by small talk, but energized by deep, mind-bending conversations, drained after too much social time, even if you love the people you're with, drawn to the mysteries of life, why things happen, not just what happens. Like you're always observing, always processing, even when you're quiet. This secret world is your gift, but it can also feel lonely because so few people speak your language. Maybe you always felt out of step with the crowd. While other kids chased trends or repeated what they heard, you were already questioning, wondering, or imagining possibilities nobody else saw. Jung wrote that intuitive introverts often feel misunderstood, out of place, or even invisible. This isn't because you're broken. It's because you're tuned to a different frequency. Your mind is like a deep ocean in a world that loves to skim the surface. You might find yourself asking, why do I see connections no one else does? Why do I get bored when conversations stay on the surface? Why do I feel older inside, even when I'm young? This feeling of not quite fitting in can be painful. You might wonder if something's wrong with you, or if you're destined to be alone. But Jung believed it's actually a sign of rare strength, a mind built for insight, empathy, and creative thinking. Here's the truth. The very things that made you feel different growing up are the same things that make you powerful as an adult. Intuitive introverts have the ability to read between the lines and notice what others miss, sense emotional undercurrents even when no one says a word, dream up creative solutions to problems nobody else can solve, find meaning in the ordinary, and beauty in the unnoticed. This superpower of depth is something the world desperately needs. In a culture obsessed with speed, trends, and appearances, your ability to slow down and dig deeper is rare and invaluable. But there's a catch. Your gifts only thrive when you learn to accept your differences rather than fight them. Too many intuitive introverts spend years pretending to be more normal, more outgoing, more practical, more talkative, just to blend in. You might have learned to laugh at jokes that didn't really make you laugh, or to stay quiet about ideas that felt too weird or deep for others. But hiding your true self comes at a cost. Jung warned that nothing has a stronger influence on their environment, and especially on their children, than the unlived life of the parent. When you suppress your intuition and depth, you not only lose touch with your own potential, but you also rob the world of your unique gifts. If you relate to this, you've probably felt the ache of emptiness that comes from not living in alignment with who you really are. But it's never too late to reclaim your true self. And when you do, you'll find a freedom that others can only imagine. If you've ever felt like you're on the outside looking in, the next moments will reveal how embracing your intuitive introvert nature can turn your so-called weakness into your greatest strength. The secret is not to become like everyone else, but to become more deeply, fully yourself. For intuitive introverts, intuition isn't just a gut feeling. It's a quiet guide that shapes your every decision. Maybe you've had those moments where something inside you said, "Don't go there," or "Pay attention to that person," long before you had proof. Carl Jung called this a kind of inner knowing. It's the gentle nudge that leads you to new ideas, warns you about risks, or helps you connect the dots others miss. And yet, because intuition is invisible, people around you might not see or trust it. You've probably experienced times when others doubted your instincts or called you overly sensitive. You second-guessed yourself, wondering if your feelings were just in your head. You stayed silent about what you sensed, only to see your intuition proven right later. Learning to trust your intuition, even when it's not logical or easily explained, is one of the hardest lessons for intuitive introverts. But it's also the source of your deepest power. Jung believed that intuition is the bridge to creativity, innovation, and wisdom. The more you honor it, the more it will guide you toward the life you're meant to live. One of the most misunderstood parts of being an intuitive introvert is your love of solitude. To others, time alone can seem empty or boring. But for you, solitude is like coming home. It's in quiet moments that your imagination comes alive, when you can process, dream, and recharge. Jung wrote that the introvert's world is one of depth, where solitude isn't a prison, but a sanctuary. You might notice that. Your best ideas come when you're alone, not in a group. Too much social interaction leaves you feeling tired, even if you enjoy it. Silence is comforting, not awkward. It's where you reconnect with your truest self. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely. Intuitive introverts often feel most alive in the quiet, where they can listen to the stories, questions, and visions inside their own mind. Honoring your need for solitude isn't selfish. It's necessary for you to show up fully for others when you do re-enter the world. Intuitive introverts are some of the most empathetic people you'll ever meet. You sense what others feel, sometimes so deeply, it feels like their pain is your own. Jung believed that this heightened empathy is both a gift and a challenge. It allows you to connect, comfort, and understand people in ways they may never fully realize. But it can also leave you carrying emotions that aren't even yours. You may have noticed, you feel drained in large crowds where you pick up on too many energies at once. People confide in you, even if you don't know them well. You sometimes need extra time alone to reset after emotionally charged days. Empathy is your superpower, but only if you set healthy boundaries. Learning to recognize what feelings are yours and which belong to others is key to staying balanced and strong. One of the most exciting traits of an intuitive introvert is your ability to see possibilities. Where others see only obstacles, you see potential. You're the person who dreams up new ways to solve problems, who imagines what could be instead of what just is. Jung described this as visionary thinking. Your mind is like a painter, always blending ideas, images, and what-ifs into a bigger picture. You might find yourself inspired by questions that don't have easy answers, daydreaming about how life could be different, better, or more meaningful. Motivated by purpose more than praise, doing what feels right, not just what looks good. This gift for seeing what's possible is what makes you a natural creator, innovator, or healer. It's also why you may struggle with the real world at times, because your mind is always reaching for something more. The challenge of being understood. Perhaps the hardest part of being an intuitive introvert is feeling misunderstood. You might express an idea only to have others shrug or look confused. You might share a vision and be met with doubt or silence. Jung knew that intuitive introverts often feel like strangers in their own land. Your ideas, your feelings, your inner life, they're not always easy to translate into words others can grasp. But here's the truth. The world needs your unique perspective, even if it doesn't always understand it right away. The more you embrace your own way of seeing, the more you give others permission to do the same. And remember, you're not alone. There are more intuitive introverts out there than you think, people quietly changing the world, one insight at a time. If you've ever doubted your gifts, the next moments will reveal how to embrace your intuitive, introvert strengths, and how doing so could unlock a life of deeper meaning, connection, and confidence you never thought possible. For so long, you may have wondered if you needed to change, to be louder, faster, more outgoing, or more normal. But Carl Jung's message to intuitive introverts is clear. Your difference is your advantage, not your flaw. The world's most lasting change doesn't usually come from the loudest voice, but from the deepest thinker. Owning your difference means making peace with the parts of you that never seemed to fit. It's noticing how your mind wanders during small talk and realizing that it's because your curiosity is craving more. It's understanding why you retreat into solitude, not to escape, but to recharge, to listen to yourself, and to make sense of everything you've absorbed. When you stop wishing you were different, something powerful happens. You begin to see your intuitive gifts for what they really are, a toolkit for understanding people, predicting patterns, and seeing the invisible threads that connect everything. You realize that being out of place is just another way of being uniquely positioned to see what others can't. The art of setting boundaries and finding your tribe. One of the greatest acts of self-care for intuitive introverts is learning to set boundaries, gently but firmly. The truth is, not everyone will understand your need for alone time, your dislike of shallow chatter, or your instinct to leave a party early. And that's okay. Healthy boundaries let you protect your energy, so you can invest deeply where it matters most. Maybe it's choosing just a few close friends over a huge crowd. Maybe it's giving yourself permission to say no to events that drain you. Maybe it's scheduling alone time without guilt, knowing that solitude is where your ideas and healing take root. And while you may always feel a bit different in the mainstream, you can find your tribe, other intuitive introverts, creators, deep thinkers, and gentle souls. These are the people who get your long pauses, your layered questions, and your love for meaning. Even just one or two such connections can change your entire sense of belonging. Many intuitive introverts keep their thoughts and dreams locked inside, afraid they'll sound too weird or be misunderstood. But the world desperately needs your voice. Jung believed that true progress, whether in art, science, relationships, or society, begins with someone brave enough to share what's inside, even if it's different. Your insight can be the key someone else needs. Your questions can open minds. Your ability to notice what others miss can spark new ideas, inventions, or even heal old wounds. You don't have to become loud or extroverted to make a difference. You only need the quiet courage to speak up, to write, to create, to offer your unique view, even if it's just to one person at first. Sometimes, what feels like too much for the wrong people is a lifeline for the right ones. And in this world of noise, your depth is a rare and precious kind of signal. As an intuitive introvert, the greatest gift you can give yourself is permission to walk your own path. You might never fit perfectly into society's expectations, but you can fit perfectly into the life that's right for you. This might look like choosing work that lets you solve interesting problems, or carving out creative time for writing, art, or invention. It might mean forming a home that's peaceful, where you can think and dream. Or it could mean seeking relationships with those who respect your depth and offer their own in return. Jung taught that meaning is not something you find by following someone else's map. It's something you create by listening deeply to yourself. Every time you honor your intuition, follow your curiosity, or make space for what inspires you, you build a life that fits you from the inside out, living as a gift to others. It's easy to think of introversion and intuition as private gifts, but Jung saw them as deeply connected to the world. When you embrace your own nature, you become a mirror for others. You show that it's okay to be different, to feel deeply, to see things no one else sees. You may never know how many people you inspire by simply being yourself. Your authenticity is a lighthouse for others searching for their own place. Your questions encourage others to ask their own. Your empathy reminds the world that gentleness is strength. Living as an intuitive introvert is not just about self-understanding. It's about using your unique way of being to help, to heal, to guide, and to connect. If you relate to everything in this video, you're not broken, you're not alone, and you're not too much. You're exactly the kind of person the world quietly waits for. Every time you felt out of place, remember, you're not missing anything. Your difference is what the world is missing. When you trust your intuition, set healthy boundaries, and allow yourself to live fully in your own depth, You become the kind of person who changes everything, often in ways that can't be measured or seen. You have a gift for finding meaning where others see only facts, for sensing possibilities, and for loving with a rare, gentle intensity. If you found yourself in this story, don't keep it to yourself. Share your own experiences in the comments. Your words might be the sign another intuitive introvert has been waiting for. And if you want to keep discovering your hidden strengths and transforming them into your superpowers, subscribe for more. The journey is just beginning, and the world needs exactly what you bring.